Starting your day off with a take on Vegas you won't get anywhere else.
Hi, I'm Holly Madison, and I listen to Brian Shapiro.
Hi, this is William Shatner, and I listen to Brian Shapiro.
Hey, this is Larry the Cable Guy, and I listen to Brian Shapiro. Why? Because I'm a good American. So is he. And if you don't listen to him, you need to pack up and leave this country.
This is the Vegas Take with Sharp and Shapiro.
Welcome all again!
Oh, yeah, what's up, Vegas? It is the Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro. Figure we start off the show with a little bit of POD, right? Need a little 90s alternative rock. I'm glad you could join us, everybody. It's good to be back here in studio. Man, it's been a while. I haven't been in studio since Thursday. It feels like it's been months. There's a lot to get to today, man. A lot to get to. Mr. Sharp, going to talk a little bit about Donald Trump today.
Man, the POD freaked me out.
Did it freak you out?
Caught me off guard. I'm confused. I'm lost. I'm twisted and used.
Well, the second option was Justin Bieber, but I thought you might like that too much, so I went with POD instead. Okay, listen, we got a lot to get to. Coming up in hour number 2, by the way, this is going to be a lot of fun. Our friend John Brookhagen from the Infinity Math Institute, he's bringing a couple CCSD students. We're going to play a little trivia game called Are You Smarter Than a CCSD Student? The answer for us is probably no, but we're going to do a little trivia contest anyway, so that's going to be a lot of fun. But oh boy, do we have a lot to get to. Got to start off right off the bat before we get to the news of the day. Seth Moulton, Democratic presidential candidate, will be joining us in studio tomorrow. That is going to be a ton of fun. And he's an Iraq war veteran. He's got 3 degrees from Harvard. Really smart guy. And I do believe he's going to be on that stage coming up in the next debate.
You said how many degrees and from where?
3 from Harvard.
He has 3.
Yes.
And they're all from Harvard.
Yes. And he's an Iraq. He's a war hero, war veteran. So we're really looking forward to having him in tomorrow.
Very busy guy.
Yes. Warren Ligari, who is the reason why the NBA Summer League is here in Vegas. He'll be joining us in studio tomorrow as well, as long as Jamison Walsh. We've got Michael Avenatti on Wednesday. We are off Thursday and Friday. Let's get to the news of the day. And, this is something, though, that I haven't really touched on yet because it happened a few days ago. Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin. And Donald Trump, once again, brushing off Russia's interference in the election. He makes a joke with Vladimir Putin, who is chuckling. I want to play this audio for you first. This is Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump sitting together at a press conference, and a reporter asked Donald Trump this question. Okay, so that audio might have been a little difficult to hear because it was one of those media scrambles. But the member of the media asked Donald Trump, will you tell Vladimir Putin not to meddle in the elections? So Donald Trump, grin on his face, looks at Putin and says, yeah, don't meddle in the elections. And then you see Vladimir Putin chuckling and laughing like it's funny. Like they're joking about it on the national stage in front of the media. Imagine what Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin are saying about meddling in the elections behind closed doors. People should be irate. I do not care if you are on the right or the left. I don't care if you're a Trump supporter or not. You should be livid that they are laughing about Russia's meddling in the elections. That should bother you. It should bother any American. And it doesn't end there. Donald Trump's 2 children making themselves look like complete buffoons. Let me start with Ivanka Trump, who traveled with her father to Asia to play a role, some sort of shadow Secretary of State. So she attended a series of meetings between the U.S. and foreign powers at the G20. She was also part of a photo op following the president's 20 steps into North Korea with dictator Kim Jong-un. Let me just add, evil, murderous dictator. And, of course, she made it look awkward. She tried to edge into a conversation. There's video of this with the Canadian Prime Minister, Trudeau, the French president, the IMF chairwoman, and also British Prime Minister Theresa May. You see in this video Trudeau kind of rolling his eyes as Ivanka Trump tries to enter in this conversation. By the way, why is Ivanka there and Melania not there? I would like to ask that question. Ivanka Trump has absolutely, positively zero experience when it comes to foreign issues. Why is she meeting Kim Jong-un? If you're the president's daughter, does that mean that you have the credentials? Now, yeah, Trump can do it. He's allowed to. He's the president. Why is Ivanka Trump there meeting with Kim Jong-un? Why is she getting in conversations with Trudeau and Theresa May? Can you please explain that to me? And by the way, it doesn't end there, folks, because as I like to call him Biff, and as Michael Avenatti likes to call him Biff, Donald Trump Jr. I mean, this is so utterly disgusting. This bothers me just as much as anything else. During Thursday's debate, Don Jr., the nitwit, retweeted a tweet in regards to California Senator Kamala Harris's racial identity. The tweet says Kamala Harris is implying she is descended from American black slaves. She's not. She comes from Jamaican slave owners. That's fine. She's not an American black, period. So what does Don Jr., the idiot, do? Not only does he retweet that tweet, which is beyond racist, he also adds his own little quote and says, "Is this true? Wow." And then several hours later, when he realizes what he did was dumb and it shows his true colors of being a racist, he deletes it. And then a spokesperson tells the New York Times, spokesperson for Don Jr., that it was a misunderstanding. So let me get this right. If somebody says something racist on Twitter and you retweet it and you support it, and then hours later you delete it, if you had to talk to your boss about this, and you use the excuse, oops, sorry, it was a misunderstanding, you think you would keep that job? No, you wouldn't, because you would be labeled a racist, and it's inappropriate.
Well, do you understand why he did that? Because if she's born in Jamaica, she's not a naturally born citizen.
Okay, but first of all, do we know that for sure?
Of course we don't know that for sure.
Second of all, I mean, to me,
and it doesn't make a difference regardless. She is a woman of color.
Of course.
Doesn't whether she's from Jamaica.
And you know what this reminds me of?
Zimbabwe or Georgia or California, makes no difference whatsoever.
And you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of his father for 5 years, the birther issue, that Barack Obama wasn't born in this country with absolutely no proof to back it up.
Well, it's a below the belt attack that doesn't accomplish anything.
And it's racist. I believe it to be racist. Do you not think that's racist, JD? I think it's racist. It's clearly racist. You have somebody going after the color of her skin. She's not a real black woman. And then you have Don Jr. This is the son of the president of the United States. I know he's accomplished nothing in his life. We all know that. And then he retweets it. And then he says, "Is this true? Wow." And then a couple hours later, he deletes it because somebody said, "Hey, Don Jr., hey, Biff, you might want to delete that. It might be construed as being racist." And it doesn't end there. Harris was not the only African-American Democrat candidate whose black identity was questioned. I've said this about Tucker Carlson. I've called him a weasel. One thing I've never called him is a racist. Maybe I'll start calling him that. You want to know why? Because replaying a segment in which some candidates, and I criticized them for using Spanish on the first night of the Democratic debate in Miami, Tucker Carlson referred to New Jersey Senator Cory Booker, who is black. He said this, by the way. I'm not paraphrasing. He said, Cory Booker is one of the whitest Democrats running for president. Let me repeat that one more time. This is a national host on television. I don't care if it's Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, or I don't know, public TV. He just called an African-American who is accomplished. You could disagree with his policies. That's fine. You could dislike him. That's fine. He called an African-American in Cory Booker the whitest Democrat running for president. First of all, I don't even know what that means, number one. And number two, what is Tucker trying to get at? You want to tell me that Tucker Carlson isn't a racist? Go ahead. Call up right now. Make your case that you don't believe that Tucker, or at least that statement, is not a racist remark. Go ahead. I want to hear you. Do you have a problem with Donald Trump Jr. retweeting a racist tweet and never apologizing for it? Do you have a problem with Ivanka Trump prancing around with Kim Jong-un, butting into conversations with Trudeau? Do you have a problem with that? Any problem at all? Or what about Donald Trump on a national stage once again embarrassing the country, seemingly joking with Vladimir Putin about meddling in the election? Do you have a problem with that? Or are you okay with all those things? Give us a buzz. I'll open up the phone lines right now. The number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation, 702-257-5396. Again, that number to call if you want to be a part of the show, 702-257-5396 is the number to call. Okay, JD, all those things that I just mentioned, and I just gave you a laundry list of things that should bother, in my opinion, should bother anybody. What bothers you the most? Or do any of those bother you at all? All those things that I listened. Ivanka Trump, Don Jr. making themselves look like morons. Once again, Tucker Carlson. You've got Vladimir Putin.
The two that bother me the most are obviously the comments by Tucker Carlson. Again, and it's not so much that it's considered horribly racist. It just isn't accomplishing anything. These are below the belt shots that don't need to be made by Donald Trump Jr. and Tucker Carlson. Do I have a problem with Ivanka Trump? She's part of the first family, Brian. If she wants to travel with the president and meet some people, fine. That's part of the game. That's part of the territory. She's allowed to do that. And if she wants to be involved in politics down the road, maybe she can make some contacts.
Okay.
It didn't work out. That happened.
Okay, but
do I have a problem with Trump and Putin laughing about that? Why do you think they're laughing? Because as far as Donald Trump is concerned, if you actually look at the money spent by Putin, which was like $180,000 on Facebook ads, et cetera, it wasn't really meddling, serious meddling. He was laughing because he's kind of like, hey, this is kind of a joke.
It's not a joke.
Don't meddle in 2020 again.
It's not a joke.
Because you meddled so much in 2016 is kind of where that's getting at.
It's not a joke.
My issue is with, you asked me a question, my issue is with what Trump Jr. said and Tucker Carlson, because it just doesn't make any sense. It accomplishes nothing. And yeah, Kamala Harris is a woman of color, regardless of where she comes from. Now, okay. I do think that he said that because if she is not born in the United States, then the same argument applies like it was with Barack Obama. Then she is not eligible to be president of the United States.
But here's my problem.
And I think that's why he was saying that. I don't think he's necessarily a racist.
Okay, couple responses to what you said. First of all, there's no proof, and if there was legitimate proof, then she wouldn't be running for president, and it would have been out by now because a lot of people out there that don't like her. Okay,
right. So I'm sure he's making a statement like that because he has attention to himself, and he's hoping that maybe there is an investigation because they consider Kamala Harris a threat to their father, and Kamala Harris is by far the biggest threat to Donald Trump if she wins the DNC.
I understand. That's number one. Your comments about Ivanka Trump, I don't disagree with you that she could, run or more political stuff down the road. The problem is she has no idea what she's doing. She has no foreign policy experience. And it's not just like she's showing up and shaking people's hands. There is a video of her butting into literally a conversation with the Canadian Prime Minister, the French president. And by the way, Trudeau is rolling his eyes. You can see it in the video. Also, British Prime Minister Theresa May. So this is not just something casual where Ivanka Trump is just shaking somebody's hand. Hey, hello, how are you? She's literally butting into conversations. Pompeo tried to get into a picture, and he couldn't get into the picture because Ivanka Trump is in this line with all these presidents and prime ministers. It's unbelievable. All right, we'll take some calls on this. 702-257-5396. Again, that number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation, 257-5396. All right, let's go to John. John, what's going on?
Hey, John.
Hey, guys. How are you tonight?
Doing good. What's on your mind?
I don't think everyone is a racist because I think when you call everyone a racist, then it cheapens it for the real racist.
I'm certainly not calling everyone a racist.
And John, I totally agree with that. I think the term is used way, way too often.
I certainly don't call everyone a racist, and I don't use that term very often. But when somebody is attacking the blackness, for lack of a better term, of Kamala Harris, what would you call that?
I don't think he was attacking. I think he was just asking a question.
No, he wasn't attacking. No, Tucker Carlson was attacking the blackness of Cory Booker. Trump Jr. was not attacking the blackness of Kamala Harris.
First of all,
he was questioning the origins of it.
Correct. First of all, Tucker Carlson called Booker white, too white. Okay, number one. Number two, Donald Trump Jr. retweets a post about the quote-unquote blackness of Kamala Harris. He retweets it. He says, is this true? Wow. And then he deletes the tweet several hours later when somebody says, hey, you're a buffoon, you're a racist, or whatever somebody said to him. Delete the tweet. That was dumb. Yes, I think that's racist. I really do. John, I'm just calling it out like it is, my man.
Yeah, I understand. Hey, one other thing is I'm glad to see that you're taking action on what people are doing in your social media because it's a disgrace.
I don't even know what are you referring to? I don't even know. I don't read every tweet.
Well, your video says, should we take legal action against the social media fraud? And I think you should.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of people on social media. Here's my problem. With the big...
It's not just us. I mean, people are able to, they can use someone's picture, someone's likeness. They can pretend to be somebody else. They can impersonate somebody else.
Right.
And they can try to hurt their business or hurt their wherewithal, and there's been no recourse. And the question was, should there be recourse moving forward? And I think that there has to be.
Well, when you hide behind your Twitter account and you don't even say who you are, and have all these fake accounts, I don't think Twitter is doing a very good job of policing
they're doing a terrible job of it.
Yeah, but you know what? We don't read every tweet, John, but I appreciate you saying that. I do.
Hey, thanks, John.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate the call. 702-257-5396 is the number to call. Again, 257-5396. Yes, I think it is absolutely and utterly disgusting when people go after Kamala Harris, who, by the way, is climbing in the polls. And I mean climbing. How much so? Biden's at about 22% now. Kamala Harris is at 17%. And we've said on this show, and we both agree on this, I think the strongest candidate that would give Donald right now, that could change, 6 months, a year from now. Right now is Kamala Harris.
It's not going to change because Donald Trump cannot consistently go after her with insults because she is a woman and she is a woman of color. And that will not play well in today's society.
Hey,
it just will not. Hillary Clinton was she's a woman, but she is not a woman of color. This will be a very difficult. I mean, he'll have to go basically policy only to win in 2020.
Listen, I agree. I was very impressed with what she did. I thought Joe Biden looked like a fool in certain aspects. I thought Buttigieg looked very presidential as a very young candidate. I was impressed with him. The problem is, if you're a Republican and you're biased and you're way to the right, you're not going to give anybody on the left any credit at all.
Buttigieg he would be a great VP candidate, I think.
He's extremely intelligent. He's well-spoken. Doesn't have a lot of experience.
He's just not ready down the road. And the thing with Kamala Harris is show me baggage. Hillary Clinton had a lot of baggage. Where's Kamala Harris's baggage?
I don't think she has any.
I don't think she does either.
I mean, and you've got people on the right that are trying to disgrace her besides, attacking her quote-unquote blackness. They're also saying that she slept her way to the top.
Right.
It's disgusting.
So what Donald Trump Jr. was trying to do was to kind of create some artificial baggage when he did that.
Well, I think he made a very big mistake by the retweet, and, but it's not surprising. Not surprising. 702-257-5396. Let's go to Steve. Steve, how's it going?
Hey, Steve.
Oh, it's going good.
What's on your mind, my friend?
I was just, I think there's a lot of qualified candidates in the Democratic Party. I just don't see Kamala Harris being a viable. It's not somebody that I want my daughter to look up to or anything like that.
Why? What has she done that you would tell your daughter, don't be like that? Why?
Well, when she turns 30 and she goes and has oral sex with a guy 70 years old.
Okay, hold on a second. Okay, first of all, were you there? Do you know exactly what person Kamala Harris had sex with?
Yeah,
I think Steve, I think you have a problem with women in power. Do you have a problem with women that are powerful people? Because you and Donald Trump seem to have something in common, my friend. Do you realize how disgusting you are?
What are you talking about?
Do you realize how disgusting? Do you realize? Okay, so would you tell your child that you called into a 50,000 watt radio station and you would say to your daughter, hey, you know what? Don't ever be like Kamala Harris because allegedly she had sex with an older man, and that's why she is not qualified to be president.
It's common knowledge.
Oh, really? It's common. Yeah. Well, you know what? It's common knowledge that you're an idiot. It's common knowledge. Yes. It's common knowledge. It's common knowledge that you're a moron. What do you think about that?
Okay, so say Kamala Harris wins and Donald Trump is.
Can I just hold on? Can I just say one other thing?
Trump,
I just want to say one other thing, and then I'm sorry. I just want for Steve. Steve, allegedly, I heard that your wife had sex with an 18-year-old kid last week. Allegedly, it's common knowledge. What do you think about that, Steve?
Even if it's common knowledge, then you have two borderline sexual deviants up against each other in 2020.
I mean, it's amazing.
They cancel each other out.
It's amazing that because she's a woman, this guy Steve calls himself a Democrat. I call him an idiot. He calls into the show and says, I would never vote for Kamala because she had sex with an old man. It's common knowledge. Well, now everyone knows it's common knowledge that you are a moron. So I'm glad you made that call, Steve. Thank you. 702-257-5396. Again, that number to call if you want to be a part of the program, 257-5396. Let's go to Mike. Mike, what's up?
Hey, Mike.
Good evening, Brian and JD.
Yes, sir. What's on your mind?
Well, number one, Kamala Harris is a joke.
And
begged Willie Brown to get her job.
Okay, so
she's arrested more black people than between her and Bill Clinton. Most of the black people incarcerated now for minor misdemeanors.
Give me a specific example. Give me a specific example of one case that you think Kamala Harris, as a prosecutor, should not have put someone in prison. I don't care if they're white or black. Give me one specific case that you studied, since you seem to know that she put someone in prison that you believe is, quote unquote, a joke. I'd love to hear it.
Look, I'm not privy to the.
You're not privy. So you
I'm
make
not
a
privy to the arrest data.
shocker. So you make a general claim.
California.
Hold on a second, Mike. You made a general claim on this show that she puts random black people in prison, and you can't name. And excuse me, you can't name one specific. And you can't name one specific case. I'm giving you.
I don't know. No, I can't name specifics, buddy. I read
Shocker.
the newspaper,
Oh, you read the news. Okay, so what did the newspaper say then? Did they give one specific case of one instance where maybe she shouldn't have put somebody in jail? Because you're making the general claim.
Look,
I'm waiting.
Look, she wouldn't make a pimple on Larry Elder's
Okay,
ass.
so what you do is you call in, you have no specifics, and you sound like a jackass. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing,
on,
Mike.
give me a break.
You're the pimple. No. You're the pimple. Mike, you're the pimple. Okay? You call into a show and you make a general claim. And I'm not even saying I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris. If you don't like her and you could give me specific reasons why you don't like her, I am more than glad to listen to you. But when you call in and you say, she throws all these African-American, you use the term black, I'm sorry. She throws all these black people in prison for nothing. And then I ask you just to give me one specific case that bothers you. And you say, I'm not privy to that information. What do you sound like? JD, what does he sound like? Help me out here. Am I wrong?
I'm going to say willful ignorance.
I like that.
No, I'm not going to say moron, buffoon, idiot, loser.
I'll say that to me.
We're going to go with willful ignorance.
You know what I think it is? I'll tell you what I think it is with the last couple callers. I believe they're Trump supporters. I believe they're Republicans. And I believe they are ignorant and they are biased. Or maybe both, or maybe one or the other. Now, Kamala Harris, say what you want about her. She's a smart woman. She is educated. She is tough.
You know who else imprisoned a whole lot of people was Rudy Giuliani in New York. He cleaned up that city pretty quick.
Well, he's also pretty quickly lost his mind in the last several years. I had a lot of respect for Rudy Giuliani, especially during the 9/11 days. I thought he did a good job. He has completely lost his mind. Have you seen his interviews recently? The guy is out of his tree. He's just lost his mind. And unfortunately, folks, when people watch Fox News and they might hear a story, maybe from one of the late night shows, maybe it's Tucker Carlson, maybe it's Laura Ingraham, because they seem to go after African Americans on a regular basis. So that wouldn't shock me if one of these callers that called in heard a story that allegedly said that Harris is just putting a bunch of African Americans in prison for no reason, which, by the way, isn't true. Or that Harris allegedly slept with a 70-year-old man, which, by the way, who cares? Who cares? Is she 20 years old? No, she's not. Her personal life and who she has sex with, so long as it's legal, should be nobody's business. Who cares? But it's funny, those same people...
And it's total hypocrisy when who she's up against, which is
exactly
obviously Donald Trump, and he's got his own issues. So
that's what I was just going to say. Exactly.
Yeah, you can create some baggage out of that, but it's I mean, again, it's a situation where it'll cancel itself out.
No, exactly. I couldn't agree more. You have a guy who slept with a porn star after his wife had a baby.
And face it, our society is extremely over-sexualized right now.
Yeah,
and women are empowered.
I don't care if you're a woman or a man. I don't care what the color of your skin is. It should be about substance. Kamala Harris did a good job in that first debate. She's got experience, tons of experience as a prosecutor.
Yeah.
She's tough. And I'm going to tell you something. And I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm shocked that I'm going to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. The only person on that stage the other night that we got a small taste of what they would give Donald Trump on a stage, we got that from Kamala Harris. She was aggressive. She was thoughtful. She showed emotion. I'll tell you something. Joe Biden didn't do that. I mean, I thought he had a nice moment when he talked about the unfortunate circumstance when he lost two members of his family, including his wife, in that car accident. It was horrible. I thought that was the best moment because I thought it was the moment where he was being truthful and honest, and he was being emotional. We got that. I feel like we get that from Harris most of the time when she spoke the other night. I really do. 257-5396, the number to call again, 702-257-5396. Let's go to Seth. Seth, what's up?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, you keep saying that Trump slept with the porn star. It's not true. That's an
Oh, you're right.
allegation, for one.
You're right. It's not true.
allegation.
You're right. It's not
Absolutely
true. I know. You're right. He just paid her a hush money of $120,000, but I'm sure nothing happened. No,
When
Seth,
you're a
I agree.
When you're a multi-billionaire, that's peanuts. It's easy
Sure.
to pay.
No, you're right.
Absolutely.
Seth, you're the only person on the planet that thinks that they didn't have sex. So congratulations, you win a prize. You win the Vegas Take prize.
And
Congratulations.
Kamala Harris is a joke. If she was not
Right.
black,
No, you're a
people wouldn't
joke.
Care about her.
No, you're a joke.
If she was not.
You just said that you don't believe Donald Trump, and you just said Seth, you're the joke. If I say, hey, this guy Seth walked into a bar, well, really? Here's the punchline. He doesn't think that Donald Trump had sex with Stormy Daniels. Seth, you're the joke. Kamala Harris isn't a joke. Kamala Harris is an intelligent woman that has lived a very good life and successful life.
That's a fact.
She slept her way to the top. Boy, you sound like you really are a disgrace, Seth.
Those are facts.
Seth,
Those are
yeah,
absolute
right.
facts.
Oh, really? Where's the fact?
Undeniable.
Do you have a video of her?
Those are facts.
Do you have a video, Seth? Where's your evidence, buddy? Where's your evidence?
Look who she cheated on.
Where's your evidence?
Are you saying she did not?
I guarantee you that your girlfriend or wife has cheated on you a lot more times than Kamala Harris has cheated on anybody.
Not more than
I guarantee you, Seth. You sound like the kind of guy that if you're with a woman, the woman wants to cheat on you immediately. Hey, Seth is my boyfriend, but you know what? I've slept with 8 other guys because Seth is an idiot. Bye, Seth. Have a nice day. Bye, Seth. Bye-bye, buddy. Bye-bye. See you later. It's amazing that the Trump clowns are coming out today. Hey, we got to take a quick break, but when we come back, we will take more of your calls. We've got some callers on hold, John, Matt, Nick. We'll get to all your calls when we come back at 257-5396. We got a couple phone lines open. If you want to be a part of the program and say something maybe that is intelligent, that'd be great. 257-5396 is the number to call. Again, 257-5396. We're going to continue this conversation on the other side of the break. You think Kamala Harris slept her way to the top? Let's hear some proof. We'll get to your calls when we come back. You're listening to The Vegas Take.